Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the stream today. Here on VRML 2, I'm Palidore. And this is going to be a match between Fusion and Vertigo. About to start soon enough, still getting the players, or attempting to get the players in here. Have a late toast in the chat popping in, saying hype, as well as Dano McFabulous from Chaos, saying never watched an EU match live before, let's do it. Well yes, let's. Players are filing in here on Fusion's side. We have what is a 5-man roster, so it looks like we're rocking with. Well, David Duel is here, but he was saying in the open comms that he might not be playing today, so we'll see about that. Maybe he will be. Who knows? Either or. Coming in here, Fusion 11-10 on the MMR, 1-10, and Vertigo 11-80, 5-7. Last time we saw Vertigo, they had that really close match versus the Alpha Ducks. That was on Sunday. Went to 3 rounds, and yeah, it was just ultimately fell a bit short on that one last week. They had matches against Smash Dash as well. So after 2 weeks ago, week 5, they went 2-2 on the week. Last week a little tougher, 0-2. So trying to find their footing here for Vertigo with their first win of the week on their first match of the week. Meanwhile, for Fusion, just trying to do much of the same here. Get some of their footing on as they continue to build that chemistry. Middleman 82 in there saying don't let me down, Vertigo, on the connoisseur vote on the website there. Yeah, after that, what was a bit of an upset, I suppose, against the Alpha Ducks, but again, close game it was, just Alpha Ducks coming ahead in that last one. Meanwhile, over on VRML Channel 1, we have the Vibers scheduled to face Phantoms. Phantoms a bit on a bit of a hiatus, a break, not really through their own choice, but they just didn't have teams to play last week, simply put because the teams they were scheduled to play against ceased to exist after the matches that week. So kind of a little bit of a leisure week for Phantoms, but nonetheless, they are the only undefeated team remaining in the league, essentially. At least that has more than a few games played. I know we do have a good handful of new teams that have registered on both regions over the last couple weeks, so there's a bit of a asterisk there. But Phantom's definitely the only one that's played pretty much all season long and has maintained that win streak, just looking steady. Swift in the chat also, Fusion player here, saying Galti's having PC issues, but he'll be here in a few minutes. So no problem, we'll get that. Well, hopefully he'll get that sorted, and meanwhile I'll just be here talking to you all. But checking over on VRML 1 real quick, it is being casted there, Vibers versus Phantoms by Sir Dimwee, and looks like we're about a minute and a half into that match at the moment. 2 points for the Phantoms, so definitely you know, pop in back and forth between those channels if you do want to see an active game happening, especially as we do wait for our one more player on Fusion to join. Although, yeah, we do have David Duel for Fusion ready to go, perhaps in case Galti isn't able to get in the next few. So either or. Yeah, so tonight we do have just the 2 European matches, Vibers and Phantoms, and then this one here, Fusion and Vertigo. I'll pull up the schedule for you, as later in the day we do have a healthy handful of matches over in North America, just as well as often the case, especially Thursdays seem to be pretty busy days in general. Fridays and Saturdays, hit or miss, then Sundays, super busy as well. But Fridays, or Thursdays, super busy. And yeah, you can see it right there. I mean, we're starting off the North American matches with Nova and Spaghetti. It's actually a challenge match that was issued, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes out. Spaghetti, of course, one of those teams that have been doling out some good victories and some upsets maybe in some of people's eyes. But Spaghetti, a team that's come together after a slower start to the season. They've looked really good lately. handing defeats to the likes of Ignite, if I recall correctly, as well as Legends. Some good teams there. Speaking of Ignite, though, they also have a doubleheader tonight. Deception versus Ignite, then Skull Crusaders versus Ignite. We have a Catalyst, one of the new teams this week, facing off against Space Force. Wireless Jacks versus Infinite. Milk versus There Is No Team. And then Reboot versus Chaos. So there's Dano McFabulous's team over there. So good handful of games. Of course, if I do scroll down to Friday, you can actually see indeed that it's still a pretty busy day. 2 matches for European region tomorrow, Smash Dash and Vibers, then Alpha Ducks versus Fusion. Of course, a lot of games on the North American side as well, and pretty much going into the weekend, a lot of kind of a second week heavy matches. So even Saturday already has 5 matches lined up, and then Sunday bunch as well. So we're looking for a really busy weekend here. I know viewership too has been pretty awesome, especially later in the day. I could only assume partially, just to some of the good matches we've had this week, but also because people are locked in, looking for stuff to watch, See, Joanne, Blade, and K saying watching now. I assume that, VRML 1, that match ongoing there between Vibers and Phantoms. And Dano cheering on Chaos for later tonight. I wonder why. But either or, we have roughly 5 minutes until the deadline that teams are supposed to start. So they're still hoping for Fusion here that they can get Galti in. I'll at least transition you to the gameplay screen so you can look at something else, I suppose. See these players flying around, just kind of waiting, seeing what they can do. And a quick by the by, I imagine most everyone in the Twitch channel right now watching has already seen, but there was the Quest port for Echo VR announced, the beta or alpha, either way, testing, suffice to say. Signups are open from that now, so you can check out the links on the official Discord for Echo VR. Well, official, unofficial. It's mostly official. But yeah, that was announced by Rad Wyvern, and you can sign up for that, and there will be testing towards the end of the month. They also showed off a little GIF of the Quest port. Looking really good, all things considered. On Quest hardware, definitely a good looking, and excited to play it. I have a Quest myself, so it's admittedly been a good amount of time since I've actually played. I've been in a lot of private matches over the last 4 months, hundreds of them, but I've not actually been playing. I've just been casting, so. All right, but Galti is in fact in now. So we'll be ready to begin shortly. Gob McGob, a.k.a. Gobshite from Quackheads, stopping by saying 5v4. No, David was in, but just to ensure that they had someone ready in case. It's Galti who's looking to play today. But Galti was having issues apparently with the PC initially. So that was the deal with that. But now that they got Galti in, all is good, all is well. And we are ready to start. So here we go, ladies and gents. Fusion versus Vertigo, round 1. All right, his first joust gets underway. It will be taken by Kai. His speedy stat going right on past him as Swift does contest. Got a couple of players in there for Fusion in the goal already, as Galti just looking to maybe pressure a little bit outside, but now all getting crowded around the bubble. A good slap out by Frogio, stepping in right away, but a slap through shot from Twang. Just the ideal spot that he wanted to be for the easy rebound. Very fortunate, and there's 2 points for Vertigo. Right off the bat. So nice slap for him as the PE Joust lines up, splitting apart in just about every direction. Alakos taking it here for Fusion. Going up to Frogio, and the stack there contesting for Vertigo, as you can see, getting a nice punch. Now that shot from Swift would have been a beautiful one had it not been for Damus playing that back line to deny it. But in the tunnel, Sanch taking this one now, a pass over to an open goal. Perhaps it is head there for Twang. Back-to-back goals now, all 5 points for Twang and Vertigo. So just a good job getting that tunnel pass, recognizing the open man. Sanch there on the pass. Got it done. So again, the rollout, Alakos again QBing. The initial stack kind of going towards a similar rollout, but a turnover will be had here by Kai. Couldn't quite get the shot, but still rebounded now by Galti, going to the other side where they do have one player maybe in position, looks like. Oh, but the stack, never mind. Twang Pants, he's been all over the disc already to start this one off, and finds Damus on Bowtie before going through the other side, trying to hit. Kai does actually get it, but dings it from a tight angle, coming in from that corner. Alakos and Fragio both kind of getting back into the goal, and now trying to position out for some passes, potentially, as that cross one does sail to Galti. So Galti, it's a tough shot, will just bounce off that back wall. In the goal there was Alakos to try and maybe collect it, but now unable to, so it will be a clear again to the opposite side, where it's taken by Twang Pants. Not quite online the 3, but they get the 2 for the consolation at least. This time, Kai gets the first 2 points for him.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
So far, Twang Pants and Kai doling the damage offensively. Alakos rolling out QBing. Few minutes off the clock here, still the first round. And trying to wait for the defense to contest before passing it off. Does a nice job of that. A bunch of players just diving on. They're really pressuring very well for Vertigo, just with those stacks. And Twang Pants does collect it for his team, but right back now, actually, Frogio taking the disc. Will try and separate and dodge through all the defense. With this bounce pass, perhaps getting the Galti. He's going to crawl around the wall. Go for that cross pass nicely, but a great save there from Kai, just snagging it out of the air right before it has a chance to go in. So good job from him, and now the soft boost coming on through. A good shield from Damus as Twang Pants takes it away, makes the play, and now it's 7 points for Twang Pants, 9 points for Vertigo all over. Or overall. I guess I kind of said that backwards. But 6 minutes, a little bit over 6 minutes left still to go. And danger here for Fusion of giving up that double-digit lead. So trying to roll out here, but having some trouble as Twang Pants gets this recovery for Vertigo. So Galti takes soft boost off. Goal currently uncontested. Swift trying to change it as Twang collects it. Maybe goes again. That's going to be a dinger and taken back by Galti just briefly, but couldn't get rid of it early enough. So Damus does have it snagged out. Fortunate grab. Good job from Swift to deny as they back pass it out. But again, some more punches. Galti taken away. Just trying to get it through the tunnel at this point for Fusion, having some trouble doing so. Swift getting stunned out there. Kai all over it. So a lot of stuns from Fusion coming out, but they can't get the clear, and results in this offensive opportunity again for Vertigo. But that isn't to say until Alakos does take it away and does find the open avenue for the clear. So good job for them as they do sail for this rebound and try to get this potentially open goal. A tough shot there, not able to get it through. So Twang Pants now getting that one. Also gets that clear off the opposite corner. So breaking off here will be a couple of players as some defense does retreat. It's Alakos inside the goal. Frogio contesting, but a great pass. Oh, the save from Alakos, costing them the points, but on the return, it is a 3 from Twang, and he has been on fire thus far. So nice defense from Alakos, but just stunned out there and couldn't really get a lot of strength behind the clear because of the lack of an anchor, and just a good positioning by Twang Pants. He has 10 points along with an assist and a save so far. Really putting a hurting on at the moment. So on the other end, Damus and Kai managed to get there first. Galti, though, justice raining from above there as he takes away the disc, looks for the shot, bit off, trying to get it right back, though, but a lot of defense encroaching on him, so Galti unable to convert, but it was a good series of plays there to take the offense off guard. And trying to maneuver around, but again, the cutoffs, the intercepts and steals, quite frequent from Vertigo. They're getting there fast as well, and there's Kai. So he'll get his second goal to put them up by 14 points so far. Fusion unable to get those scores. They've had a couple looks, but just tougher shots.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So rolling out, trying to get this through.
Clears it out. Intercepted.
Oops, excuse me, camera's lost really. Okay, sorry about that. That would be Alikos here on the top. And tap out to Swift, aware of Swift in the back line, so good play there, but couldn't get rid of it as that short-range stack just taking them off guard. So Kai, a swing-through move, did a couple fakes before finally dumping that one in for the 16th point. So now between Kai and Twang Pants, just doing a lot of offensive work for their team. And a good job as well, just the short-range boost to take the disc back. So far, 10 points for Twang, 6 for Kai. We have each of the players on Fusion doing well with the one save apiece, but the offense right now having a hard time maneuvering and just negotiating through that tough defense from Vertigo. So trying to find some good passing in the mid lane, but you can see exactly there just how quick the defense is, just forcing these passes. It seems like Fusion really can't have a lot of time afforded to them because of it, but they are doing good with these back passes and mid lane passes to try and maneuver. It's just very tightly played by Vertigo at the moment. So maybe getting a little bit of separation here finally. That strong pass will sail past Swift, but he's going to get that second one off the bounce. So again, more nice passing from Fusion. That one going to Alikos. This one looking like a good passing play, but unfortunately just bouncing it off the Geo. So lost the handles through no fault of his own either, perhaps. That happening sometimes. There's a tough angle fade away from Kai, but just a beautiful hit from the sky there. 19 points. So we're one away from the Mercy, and Fusion just tough on the other side because they had some great looking passes. Great series all the way from midline to the front, but then losing it off the wall, the corner of the wall there, and it resulted on the score. So see what Fusion can do here as they go for that long pass. Might indirectly still reach their intended targets. So Galti does receive it here, and splitting out for some more angles, but you can see that zone coverage very well at play, just making it tough for Fusion to get too much going. Now that bounce pass, pretty perfect on the delivery. Nice handoff to Galti. Galti just trying to avoid this defense. A swing through move and gets the 2. That was a great play from Galti. And again, nice passing from Fusion. And finally they're able to just negotiate around the heavy defense and find themselves some points. Took a while, but they did finally get one there. So nice job from Fusion and from Galti there on the swing through play. So Damus here gets it to Twang Pants. Frogio will try and contest these lanes. The stack in the back line almost causing a turnover, forcing a tough pass if nothing else. So diving out on it is Alikos at the goal, and another turnover to Fusion. Kai doing a great job to deny that initial stack, but still on the other end, it's Alikos there, getting that recovery along with Galti on the boost. So even though Kai for Vertigo did a good job denying Fusion's backline stack, he still had that second stack there from Alikos able to get back. So good job to put 2 points here in the last minute for Fusion in round 1. But ultimately it will be Vertigo taking this one away, coming out ahead. Maybe a chance to score one more, but looks like they're just going to play it slowly. So it will be a 19-4 finish to round 1. But Fusion there building at least a couple good goals towards the end and some nice passing. So see if they can take that and come out, with more fire and strength into that round 2. But for Vertigo, they just want to maintain, obviously. Not really doing too much wrong in any department. Looking pretty good. So over to the highlights screen. You can see again Twang Pants and Kai, just the 1-2 punch. He had 10 points from Twang Pants, 1 assist, 1 save, and 7 stuns. And then Kai with a 9 points, 1 save, 1 steal, and 13 stuns. So hard to say who was most effective between them two, but they just were piling it on pretty much every category. Damus with 1 save and 4 stuns. He had Sanch with 2 assists, so nice distribution, as well as 24 stuns, easily leading the way, just about double the amount of anyone else, if not triple. So great brawling effort from Sanch. Over on Fusion's side, Galti with 2 points, 1 save, and 7 stuns. Frogio with 1 assist, 1 save, and 2 stuns. Alakas with 2 points, 1 save, 1 steal, and 9 stuns. And then Swift with 1 save and 4 stuns. You can see there everyone from Fusion able to put some steals on the board. He's doing a good job with that as we move on here to the second round. About to start. So Joust will be taken first. Looks like by that stack, 2 stacks in fact. Very nice from both teams. It will be Vertigo coming away with it, and the open 3 as well. So you had that backline stack from Fusion almost contesting and able to get there first. Was maybe risky, and it did result in this open 3 for Vertigo. And they'll gladly take it. Twang Pants especially. I mean, he continues to light it up now. 13 across these 2 rounds. So go. What in the world was that? did anyone else? Okay, anyway. Restart underway. There apparently a tech issue there. We saw a cameo appearance from someone just popping out before that launch went out, so it looks like a crash, I can only assume. So it will be the case, these teams just resetting, it would seem. No harm done. I mean, the players all, no one left the arena, so they're all still in it. That was just a weird thing. I don't know if anyone caught what happened there, but as the buzzer was going off, as the, the countdown went off, right before, one player just randomly appeared, like right around here for Fusion's side, which sometimes happens, when you get tracking loss or you get those crashes. But again, no one actually leaving the arena, so they're still in the game, just maybe figuring out what happened there and trying to reorganize and restart really quick. I know Galti was having some issues before the match had started. That's why there was a little bit of a delay. We started about 10 minutes or so late. Well, not late so much as, past the start time. I mean, you do have the 15-minute window, so not late, but nonetheless, there were delays because of that. So I'm not sure if that was Galti or not. But either way, everyone's still in here, all 8 players. It's the first 3 points. They're going to Vertigo. So it seems like we should maybe be all right. And just waiting for this little intermission, perhaps, to go off. It seems like both teams readied up, so I don't know. We'll just wait it out and keep on with the second round. Again, the first one taken 19-4 by Vertigo. Fusion held scoreless for most of that round until the last minute or so, maybe a minute and a half. They put on a couple nice goals. Really, the passing from Fusion was quite good, especially in the latter half. It's just Vertigo was really playing quite tough. The defense definitely playing up right in the faces in the midline and all over the floor there against them for Vertigo. So Vertigo's just putting on a nice show, really offensively, defensively, and so on. But here comes the launch, and there we go, underway, the second round. So got that reset, stats will be gone. But obviously, between Twang Pants and Sancho over on Vertigo, they're really doing a lot of offensive work for their team. Or Twang Pants and Kai, rather, I believe. Sanch had some assists, though. And rolling out here for Vertigo, Galti, good pass to Alakas, and good finish there. So, again, the good passing from Fusion continuing, and maybe if the last couple minutes of play extending back to round 1 are anything to be believed, Fusion may be starting to find some momentum. Because now their passes are starting to result in those goals that they were lacking for the first 8 or 9 minutes of round 1. And 3 goals in the last couple minutes across these 2 rounds for Fusion. So see what they can do here on defense will cause a turnover. So Alakas takes his disc. And looking for that passing play, but just slightly hitting that outer edge, that edge of the ramp, in fact. So a little unfortunate, but luckily won't pay for it as Frogio does clear it to the other side as now teams just looking for their boost. That one will roll kind of close to the goal and be received here by Galti. Galti trying to duck through move, but that was a nice preparation from Sanch. He was already anticipating it. So good turnover. The three a little offline, too far to the right, and over to the rebounded hands of a couple players for Vertigo getting there first. Dano saying Fusion is turning it up. Yeah, looks like it. I mean, they're causing some turnovers. They're getting some passes. Here's another one. Galti with a good clear. I mean, that was another thing that Fusion wasn't getting going at first, was just getting the clears on through, but they've gotten several of those. Getting back here, though, first is Vertigo. So some back and forth play, some more as a Swift is in position to retrieve it, but punched out just as he slings it to the corner pocket.
Blue catches the enemy pass.
So good punch. Frogio here coming out with the assault. Now looking for Galti, and now they'll vault over for that disc. Taken away by Galti. There's a shot just a little bit too high, but his own rebound and goal. So right back at him, and Fusion taking a 1-point lead. Good second effort right there by Fusion, by Galti, that is, going up. And hey, Echo Arena VRML, that is VRML Channel 1 being rating us right now here on 2. So I can only imagine that Vibers versus Phantoms is now over. So appreciate Sir Dimwee for the raid. And welcome to it. So for those just joining us then, in that case, this match, the second round, is obviously close. 1-point game. Sanch going for that play, but taken out by Alakos. Alakos looking for a clear and does get that through. So round 1 was taken by Vertigo. Rather dominantly, admittedly. It was a finishing score of 19-4. The thing is, Fusion didn't get their first points in round 1 until the last 90 seconds or so. Their passing was pretty good, but Vertigo's defense was just absolutely clamping down hard. But then towards the last minute or two, Fusion started getting some nice passes, some good goals. They've already gotten 2 here in the first 4 minutes of round 2, so Fusion's starting to pick up the pace. But on pace for that shot, maybe a rebound going to Vertigo. Finally getting it, but slapped on through. Not sure if that was Swift or Frogio, but there it is, Frogio the clear. So some great defense at play now for Fusion. Very fortunate on that one. The headbutt actually, though, twice, it seems, off of their own teammate for Fusion. Getting it back, though, is Galti. And Galti trying to maybe go for a clear and look for maybe a clear and boost, if nothing else. Trying to get connected here with Alakos. Now that one would have rolled close, but Damus denies it, sends it over to the other side at the mid lane. And getting it back is maybe Swift, but just as well, Kai is actually there for a short-range grab, headbutts it up. So still, kind of anyone's possession. Does go to Sanch here with a pass, recognizing Kai, going backboard, and too soft collected here by Alakos, looking for a clear that just will bounce right back to the bubble, in fact. So taken here by Swift now, tapping it out. Back to the mid lane, and Kai will get that one. Vertigo looking to try and take a lead. We're at the halfway point of round 2. Fusion does need this win if they want to force this third round game and maybe take this potential upset. But right now, Vertigo starting to have a hard time just maneuvering through this defense inside the bubble. A lot of turnovers, but that one, good grab from Twang Pants. Open goal, just briefly enough, and a pass will be sent, but another one off of Frogio. Just in the right place every time, it seems like, this last minute. One more attempt here from Twang Pants. A ding here going through, and now if someone could link up here for Fusion, they might be in good position. There's a light boost from Galti. Does have himself a open 3, and softly, but couldn't get it. His own rebound. We've seen that already once, twice, and again, very nice from Fusion. So taking that 1 point, or rather 3-point lead, and going up here with 4 minutes left, and Galti, that is back-to-back goals for Galti, where he did miss the initial shot, but just had enough concentration to find the rebound and put it back. So very nice look for Fusion here, coming back in the second round with a little more intensity, really giving Vertigo some trouble inside that 2-point zone especially. So Sir Dimwee saying Phantoms won that one in 2. Rocktor saying Palidore is the handsomest caster. Why, thanks. Go like me on Tinder or something. Dano saying, go Fusion, one more. Well, right here's one more for Twang Pants. Getting the score. Now it's a 1-point match, still the same. And Bears mentioning, too, for those joining us, we did have a restart right at the beginning of round 2, so these stats aren't the total round. But between Twang Pants and Kai, they were just on fire. Twang Pants finished, I think, with 10 points in round 1. Kai finished with 9. So the two of them, they were just really strong on the offensive end. But right now, behind by 1. Maybe, though, in position to go up by 1 or more if they take the 3. Oh, it's saved by Frogio. Couldn't get it through. Oh, a very tough one there. That was almost a beautiful save, and we know how good in the goal not only Frogio is, but Alacost as well. Just both talented defenders. So at the very least, though, they did stop the 3. And that matters for something because now, with 1 score here, Fusion can still go up by 1 or 2. So definitely that save, even though it still counted for the 2 points, very important in the context of giving Fusion a chance here to still take a lead off of any score. Now that said, may have jinxed it, and what a bounce on the inside of the post a couple times to get that in for Twang Pants, and that's a 4-point lead now. Very fortunate. That could have gone either way, but with 2:16 left, Vertigo here now up by a couple goals. And seeing if they can hold on for these last couple. The Fusion, they've been just giving them a lot of contesting, a lot of problems here in the second round. Of course, Fusion was the one who was coming back kind of late game in round 1 to start putting on some goals, but maybe it's kind of the reverse for Vertigo. Coming back here late game and looking to close this out in crunch time. We'll see. Rocktor with the super light. Fantastic. So over here, sailing past the hands and right into Swift. They got a chance to bring it closer, and they do. So close range, close quarters, giving no quarters at all was that defense, but Swift still maneuvering enough to bring it within 2 points. 90 seconds left. And now it really is crunch time. Every play mattering all the more. You know, the kind of ironic part, Rocktor, getting a lot more likes now that everyone's indoors and forcibly can't go out on dates. Bad luck, Brian, right? Anyway, Twang Pants is going over here and getting the disc. We have 1 minute left. It's a 2-point match. Speaking of matches. Over here, Twang rolling it up, looking to play it patient. They don't need to score if they don't have to. I mean, they just want to get some patient play, some good looks. Right here, mishandling the disc a little bit. Sanch, no momentum, and Frogio stopping the rest of it. So absolutely crucial save there. Grab, steal, clear, everything above. But getting it back first is Kai. He'll back pass it out. Has the barrier area where Damus awaits. So looking for maybe just the last 30 seconds to run this one out if they can. That's going to be a deep clear and boost. This will be the ice if they get it, and it will in fact be. So Twang Pants off a great stack and clear boost do put this game away. And that's kind of the story of this game. Twang Pants, just a fantastic offensive showing from him. Along with Kai and Vertigo. Just tough break for Fusion there, as they did have a great chance to holding on to that lead for the initial half of round 2. But in the end, it will be that victory here for Vertigo. 2 rounds. Good game, though, and very good second round, especially. So head over to the scoreboard right quick. And, our stats got lost, but you did get a look at them before. And like I said, too, the stats were wiped after round 1 because of a restart, so can't really give you the read on all the stats, but I can tell you that for Fusion's side, everyone on Fusion did have at least 1 save. Between Frogio and Alacost, they definitely had at least a couple, so some good defense there. You saw Galti, he was playing good in the midline, and Swift as well, both of them causing some turnovers. Galti had those shots, those self-rebounds, playing well for Fusion. But for Vertigo, Twang Pants and Kai doing a lot of damage offensively, getting just about all the points almost on their team, really, across the 2 rounds. They were just dealing a lot of damage through that. Sanch was doing a great job assisting as well as brawling at the time. At the end of the first round, I believe Sanch had 2 assists. No doubt got some more in there in that round, as well as leading the stuns by almost triple everyone else. And Kai as well with some assists and some brawls. And yeah, good. It was a good team effort all around from Vertigo. Their defense impressed me a lot. For Fusion, their persistence and their passing was impressing. They couldn't quite come through with a win there, but definitely seeing the tangible changes in their passing. And the longer that the game went on, after what was a slow start, like those first several minutes of round 1, Fusion was just heating up more and more as the match went on. So still a good showing from them. Just tough break in the latter half of that one, as Vertigo did make the comeback in the clutch time. So well done and good game overall. And I'll pull the schedules up again real quick. I did this a little bit earlier before the stream, but since there's a lot of people coming in from VRML 1, we'll do it one more time for you. That is the conclusion of our European matches for the day, but starting off in North America later on, we have Nova and Spaghetti in a challenge match. That will be at 5 Mountain Standard Time, otherwise a 7 Central Time. And that'll be no doubt a good match. Nova, one of those teams just trying to inch their way up into those gold ranks at every opportunity, fighting hard there in their division. Spaghetti, one of those teams that people continue, maybe less lately, but kind of underestimate. But they've had some strong victories against some very talented teams as of late, including ones like Ignite, ones like Legends. I mean, Spaghetti is a very good team when they're on point, on the ball, on the meatball, so to speak. But then we have Deception versus Ignite, Skull Crusaders versus Ignite. Skull Crusaders, a team that I'm kind of really interested in seeing what they do, because they've been improving fairly drastically as of late. They introduced Oculusator, who a lot of people might know from pub games, since 2017. But they got in Oculusator as well as Filibust onto the permanent roster the last several weeks, and Oculusator has been going on an almost LeBron-like tear. And I say that because he's been putting on stats in every single category across the board and usually leading the way in the entire match. No joke, I've casted almost all the Skull Crusaders match the last 3 weeks, and Oculusator's been leading every single time in every category. It's been kind of ridiculous, to be honest. But anyway, so looking forward to that one. We have Catalyst versus Space Force, Wireless Jacks versus Infinite, Milk versus There Is No Team, and then finishing with Reboot versus Chaos. So just a lot of games, and we'll cast and cam as many of them as we can, of course. Of course, see Dano in there, stopping in for what I think he said was his first match he's watched in the European scene. And yeah, fun to see him versus our good friends in Reboot later on. Looking forward to that. Chaos is another one of those teams. Like I mentioned, Skull Crusaders being a team that's built up their chemistry and their wins over the season. Chaos just as well. It's been a process, obviously, taking time to find their solid roster and their chemistry, but Chaos, as of the last few weeks as well, has had some really entertaining games. Round 3s, we've seen overtimes, we've seen just the great growth of their team. So it's been fun to watch all these new teams and all these newer rosters come together. And that applies to Chaos as well as Fusion here tonight. I mean, like I said, it's a battle, and as the months go on, I feel like no spot in the league really is going to be secure if anyone does let up. I know, yeah, Dano pointing out that there was an actual 5 overtime game, maybe in week, I want to say 3 or 4, that wasn't casted. I think Skinny 229 managed to get in there and get some sort of spec view kind of thing or something that he uploaded to YouTube, but it wasn't like an official VRML capacity. But yeah, it was tough because there were 2 casts going on at the same time. I was the only cameraman for that particular time slot, and I chose the other game, and wouldn't you know it, we got what possibly will be the most overtimes in the history of VRML. It's not often you see 1 overtime or 2 overtimes, much less 5 OTs, so missed out on history, but what can you do? Yeah, GS Hollow in the chat there saying, VR esports will be the future. It's amazing to see it slowly grow. Oh yeah, absolutely. I know people are indoors a lot more often as of this last week, but I mean, you know, in those evening time games, like last night, for instance, we had 4 consecutive matches on VRML 1. We were streaming for about 2 hours and 10 minutes or so in total. And for, I would say, the last, you know, for the first hour, we were maintaining a good 30 viewers or so. By the time the second hour, for the full second hour, we had 50 to 60 viewers. I think we peaked at 64. So it was a lot of people tuning in. And that's kind of been the case really most of the week, especially evening time. We're really getting those, you know, 30, 40, even 50 viewer marks each night lately. So it's definitely fun to see. But even here, peaking tonight, I think at maybe 27 for these games. So, I mean, it's, yeah, testament to the growth and the continuation of our Get Echo Arena on ESPN campaign. But yeah, all right, so I think that's enough talking for me, but definitely appreciate everyone coming in, watching these matches, and hope to see you on later tonight for the rest of them. So shout out as well. GS Hollow Twitter is the same as Twitch. There you go. So go follow him there. I appreciate everyone else following us and continuing to do so. So until next time, later this evening, I've been Palidore. This has been VR Master League, and this has been a fun match. I'll see you again really soon.